wrist before, a fitness wristband that tracks how active you are in a day and how many calories you've burned. They're fast becoming one of the most popular forms of wearable technology. Now, there's the Jawbone Up, the Fitbit Flex, and of course, the Nike FuelBand. But now there are reports that Nike might be killing the FuelBand. It says that Nike has laid off much of the team that created it. Reports also say that it will continue to support the existing FuelBands, but refuses to say whether they will make any more. Now let's go straight to New York and speak to our regular contributor. Nicholas Thompson is the editor of TheNewYorker.com. He joins me now live. Now, Nick, if the reports are true, why would Nike do this? Why would Nike back out of wearable tech?
Well, I think the reports are true, and I think they're very interesting. There are a couple of reasons. We don't know for sure. First of all, they weren't winning. Fitbit, surprisingly, was winning. This tiny company was beating Nike, was getting slightly better reviews, and had larger market share. Secondly, the margins for Nike clearly weren't as good as they are on apparel and they are on footwear. And then the most interesting reason, I think, is that they suspect that there's soon going to be a big leap in wearable technologies, whether it's a watch or whether it's some other device, and that the FuelBand was going to end up getting defeated. So they pulled out now instead of waiting for it to lose later.
Now, Tim Cook is on the board of Nike, so is there an Apple angle here?
Well, this is the best conspiracy theory, or not conspiracy theory, but the best hypothesis. You know, Tim Cook wears a FuelBand. Tim Cook has been on the board of Nike for a long time. Nike, when they've talked about the layoffs in the FuelBand department, has talked a lot about Apple. It seems possible that Nike knows that Apple is coming out with a smartwatch, which many people suspect, and that the smartwatch is going to do a lot of what the FuelBand does. And Nike doesn't want to be the latest in a long string of companies that have basically been absorbed by new devices from Apple, right? You think about the Flip video camera, which was a huge sensation. Everybody thought would be huge, and then suddenly the iPhone could take videos that were just as good, and Flip went away. So Nike may have been anticipating, and it may have known something's coming from Apple. I don't know that, but that's a hypothesis.
Yeah, interesting comparison to the Flip Cam there. Now, there are many rivals out there to the Nike FuelBand, from Jawbone, from Garmin, Fitbit, and others.
Yep.
How do you think they are interpreting the news about Nike potentially backing away from the FuelBand? Do you think they're saying, yes, a key rival is out of the picture, or, oh, no, we could be obsolete as well?
I think they're saying both. I think when they got the news, they probably said, all right, we've won. I'm just channeling somebody at Fitbit. And then, wait a second. Wait, now, Nike's a very smart company. They may have been losing money on the FuelBand, but Nike has plenty of money to lose. If they thought this industry was a really good one to be in, they would have stayed in. So I think there's going to be a combination of elation, feeling of success, and terror.
Now, we are talking about personal tech, after all. I'm going to ask you a personal question. We know that you're a technologist.
Yep.
I also know you're a keen runner. Nick, do you use fitness bands or wearables?
I do not use fitness bands or wearables. I spend a lot of my time trying to figure out how to make tech present when I want it to be present and not present when I don't want it to be present. I have no beeps on my phone. I try to make sure that, when I'm using email, but you don't want too many devices coming at you too often because it can distract your attention from other things. So I've chosen not to do it. I know lots of people love it. I know it's helped a lot of people get fitter. I worry that it's one more gadget that takes you out of the moment and makes you think too much about how many steps you've taken that day and not, the cool thing that serendipitously appeared in the sky.
I totally agree with you. We share the same mindfulness about technology and personal tech taking over our personal time and space.
Yeah.
Now, let's, final question for you, taking it back to the company we're talking about, Nike. I mean, what is the bottom line here for Nike? By backing out, it sounds like they are backing out of wearable hardware.
Yep.
Do you think this ultimately is a good thing or a bad thing for the company?
Well, my guess is that it's probably a smart thing, that this was kind of a strange move for them to take, right? It's very hard to move into a hardware business. It's very hard to be in a hardware business when lots of traditional hardware players are about to go into it and to go into it very hard. So they were going to be in a tough position. They already have very, very profitable lines, and this was a difficult one to add. And then in addition, they've said they're going to focus on software, and there is a possibility that they can, succeed in software where the margins are a heck of a lot better than they are in hardware, and where there aren't the same infrastructure costs. So Nike may be doing something smart, cutting its losses now. To the extent it's going to focus on FuelBand in the future, it'll focus on software. If that works, great. They can get great margins. If it doesn't work, they'll kill that off too.
Yeah, after all, Nike is not a tech company, right? Nick Thompson, joining me live from New York.
And they sell a lot of shoes. Thank you
That's
very
right. And there's higher margins of shoes, at least for
Absolutely.
Nike. Thank you so much for that. Nick Thompson, take care. We'll talk
Thank you,
again
Christy.
soon.